Hi-Fi. Today I'm going to be looking at the Aegir 2 by Schiit Audio. It's an amplifier. I reviewed the Vidar earlier this year, and so I kind of wanted to take a look at this. They're very similar on the outside. Don't really like to get into specs too much, but just to kind of give you an example or an idea of how these are different, the Vidar was in stereo at 8 ohms is 100 watts RMS per channel. At 4 ohms is 200, and in mono at 8 ohms is 400. So it's a really powerful amp. It's $7.99 on their website. The Aegir, this one, it's a little bit more money. It's $100 more. It's $8.99. In stereo at 8 ohms is 30 watts RMS, 4 ohms is 50, and in mono mode 8 ohms is 100. So it is a little bit more money for a little bit less power. May not make a lot of sense if you're not familiar with these types of amps, but what that will get you is traditionally the Aegir is going to sound a little bit, or I guess not traditionally, according to their website, it's going to sound a little bit more clear, a little bit more realistic, more like a tube amp or approaching tube amp sound. I don't think it's going to be a replacement necessarily for tube amps, but I think if everything is the way they say it is, it's going to be kind of approaching that kind of quality of sound. Now, I will say if you've got some big speakers that require a lot of power, probably not the amp for you. You probably want to stick with a Vidar. But if you have some really sensitive speakers, this is going to be the one that you want to have that more rich sound. But let's take a look at what's in the box here, and I'll do a review of me actually using it afterwards. But got the power cord here, and got the instruction manual. If you're not familiar with this type of amp, you probably do want to read through the manual. And I mean, honestly, if you're paying that kind of money for something, it's a short read. It's just a few pages. So, just to get it set up and get familiar with everything, I would certainly take a look at that. Let's get it out of the box here. So, one thing they are really good at is packaging these things so tight that it's hard to get out of the foam there, but you just want to be really careful because it's really tempting to try to grab onto these fittings right here where you plug in the speakers. Just don't grab any of that. Try to grab it like I did from the sides. I kind of pulled up the excess plastic and then pulled it by the plastic. So that's what I would do with it. Toss that to the side there. So if you are familiar with the Vidar, if you watched my video on the Vidar, you're going to see this is going to be very similar on the outside. Honestly, you'd probably be hard-pressed to really tell the difference from 10 feet away. It's got the same little button on the front. Of course, it actually says Aegir on it. It does weigh a bit. I forgot exactly what it weighs, but kind of hard to hold up to the camera too easily. I just want to make sure I'm getting it centered. So, let me take a look at the camera. Yeah. So, here you've got right side, left side for your speakers. They are banana plug compatible, but you can also use, if you have just like a bare wire, you can use it. If you've got the I'm drawing a blank now. If you have the kind of just slide in there, you can do that. It does take RCA as well. It does have for input. Does have XLR for input. If you're running it in stereo, you're going to be using the RCA. If you're running it in mono, you're going to be using the XLR. That's kind of my one real complaint with these. I do wish Schiit Audio would put in XLR for stereo as well. I just prefer XLR to RCA. It would be really nice if they did that. Power port, of course, is there. You do have, under this, you do have a little fuse in case it doesn't turn on. That might be something to check. And you've got the, of course, the power button right there. One thing I do like about everything Schiit makes, everything is very high quality. So, I mean, even you can tell when you toggle that switch. I mean, it feels crisp like it should. I do have these little rubber feet on the bottom. Schiit does a really good job too with cooling. You can see all these vents, vent ribs on it, holes, of course, in the casing, and the casing is like a brushed aluminum. Feels very nice. Let me see if I can kind of go down a little bit more closer to it. Probably should have done that in the beginning, but you know, didn't think about it. But really, all the fit and finish, everything on these are very high quality. I've always been really impressed. I'm just going to kind of show the back here again, just in case I didn't really get it real good before. But yeah, check it out. I'll put a link on the description. And if you so decide, I'd love to see you on the next video where I actually plug this thing in and play it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you later.